Good, everybody. Welcome to the 28th of July. I'm Connor MacIvor. Let's talk about your Santa Clarita real estate update. Watching the market, I've been noticing a few different changes. We are slowing down just a little bit from where we were a couple weeks ago in the movement of real estate listings, although this week we have had 70 properties actually finish and close escrow. We've had 8 properties listed as coming soon. New listings, we have 70. Price changes 99. Back on market properties, 23. We have 33 properties that have actually gone under contract. 58 have gone pending. If all those make it, we will be overrunning the ability of the market to place new listings out there for sale. So less sellers are selling. We are right now 797 total active listings on the market for sale. That's been up and down. The highest point we were at here last week when I did a show, we were around 800 active listings on the market, 810. So it has been fluctuating quite a bit. A few weeks ago, though, that jumped pretty good from about 720, 730 over 800. So you can see how the market is incredibly dynamic. And barring any changes in the Fed or any kind of changes in interest rate, I would imagine we're probably just going to stick right around here for a little while till we get into the fall. In the real estate market, of course, will start to slow down depending on the Fed and their changes to the interest rate. We have 70 properties that actually finished this week. As I said, 6 have expired, 17 have canceled, 22 have been put on hold, and 5 have withdrawn. One of the biggest things I did a few days ago is I did a show, the 5 top things that real estate sellers need to know in this particular market to sell their home for the most and with the least amount of effort. This also goes for buyers out there because this gives you seller strategies and it will help you formulate your best offer. But here's one of the things I talked about: staging of residences, having that presentation point of a residence and also communication with your agent. So as far as presentation goes, here's the thing that might give you the edge as far as being a real estate seller. Do a pre-sale home inspection. Don't be scared. Have a home inspector come out and look at your house. Now, if it has been neglected, if you haven't really done a lot over the last umpteen years that you've owned the property, and I see this quite a bit, then do yourselves a favor, have that pre-sale home inspection. Have the home inspector come out. It's going to be a few $100, but that's going to be money well worth it because buyers right now are incredibly savvy, and it's going to really make your home shine above the other houses that are going to be listed for sale. You don't want to sell anybody a piece of junk. You want to sell them something that's in great shape and at least, very, very functional. Buyers can get past the type of furniture you have. Buyers can get past a lot of times in the way of renovations and upgrades, especially if there's none of those properties on the market in competition. What they can't get past are issues with the functionality of the home, issues that are health and safety problems, things that you might not even know are the current condition of your property because you can't see them. Since when's the last time you went in your attic and looked around at the different conduit or the different wiring or things that have happened over time? There could be little spot fires that have happened with various outlets that you're just not aware of. Having them look at the roof and make sure all the tiles are correct and they're seated properly, the paper isn't torn. Having them come look and talk to you about maybe dry rot or potential termite infestation. Things like this are really going to put your house above the other ones that are for sale, and it's going to show complete transparency. So when a buyer comes out and they see that you've done a pre-inspection, a pre-sale home inspection, and then you had these issues remedied, and then you had it re-inspected by the same inspector, and they gave it a certification or gave it a clean bill of health, they're done, folks. They're going to offer you the amount of money for your property that it's worth, and if it's a super competitive market, maybe more than it's worth. And then after that point, you're going to be good to go. They will still probably get their own home inspector. They'll probably still get their own termite inspector, pest control inspector. But that being the case, you've already done it. And there are things, either it's on or it's off, either it's black or it's white. When the new home inspector comes out there, they're going to not find anything new potentially. And if they do, then you go back on the other home inspector and say, what's up? Why didn't you find this? Why didn't you see this? And then you have it all made right. It works out perfectly in this market. Now, the one thing that buyers won't tolerate, and that's going to be misleading photographs online. And this is something that I talk about to my sellers, if you have a house that's painted, let's say all the interior is painted red, and yes, I've seen properties like this, it's probably going to cost a little bit of money to get on the market because not everybody is going to like all the interior of the home being painted red. They're probably going to like their own thing. And usually those softer colors, those colors that are more acceptable by most people, is really the way to outfit a property. You've heard the term vanilla as it relates to things, kind of that blank canvas. People like that. They like to come in and be able to do their own things. Now, if you have historical pictures, for example, here's the point. If you have pictures back to when the house was more in line with being vanilla, and you use those properties to advertise and market, those pictures to advertise and market the property, and then you place those online, and then the buyers make an appointment to come see your house either at an open house or via their agent, and they walk in there and they see it's all red, there's going to be a problem. That's an automatic switch. They're done. They're probably not going to proceed. That's an issue. Those misleading photographs. In addition, staging is a big thing that's always talked about. Is it proper to stage? You're going to make more money. Buyers do this themselves, folks, with artificial intelligence and the classes I teach and the other things that are out there online when I'm putting together these formulas at zoommescv.com for people that are talking to me about buying and selling real estate. There are systems out there. You can use those online photographs. Take those and plug them into a large language model or a picture conversion machine online as well. And what they'll do is they'll be able to take those pictures and they'll be able to drop in whatever furniture you want. They can even do changes and upgrades. But for a seller to use that system to show what their kitchen would look like upgraded or with granite, that's a little bit of a turnoff to buyers, especially if the picture as it is currently isn't placed in there as well. You also have to be very careful with misleading people. But from a buyer's perspective, they'll be able to do all this online. In fact, there's systems out there. They can take the entire virtual tour and have it completely re-outfitted with pictures and furniture and different amenities so they can really hang those mental curtains in the residence. It's important to know, though, one of the things that pre-sale home inspection does, it completely shows your transparency and you're willing to be upfront about all the conditions that affect the buyer's purchase of your home. It is a big deal. If you want more tips like this, go to zoommescv.com. I'm Connor with Honor. Go to SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com to do any kind of searching, and there you can change your search up. If you're a buyer wanting to look at the longer days on market properties, you can change the filter to show the older properties first, and then you can attack those ones that appear to not have any kind of price changes in the historical record, and then conduct your offer strategy in a proper format. In addition, for you sellers out there, love letters, buyers letting you know who else is going to be living there, how much they love the house, and all this personal information, those aren't allowed. But if a buyer is using the large language models or AI properly, they'll be able to get historical sold properties, as your agent should do. They'll be able to take those. They'll be able to have an LLM like ChatGPT or one of the others, Grok. They'll have them crunch the numbers and develop an offering strategy on your particular residence. Your agent should have already done this, so you know what to look out for, so you understand that when this comes through and maybe they're attacking your listing price, to understand what kind of parameters they're using and what kind of proofs they're asking the LLM to work up and then to work through. It's incredibly important, so make sure you're teaming up with an agent that understands the large language models and AI, the way it's affecting real estate on that cutting edge of technology is going to be incredibly important for you, because most buyers are getting those same agents when they're making offers on properties. I'm Connor with Honor, SantaClaritaOpenHouses.com. When you're ready, reach out. Thank you so much for watching, and be well.